Alright. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. And some MX versus ATV Untamed. So we'll be on YouTube, you know, later today. Then should be should start uploading it. I should start uploading it within 2 hours, but I have another video to upload and I do have to get ready for work. So if it's not uploaded within 2 hours, it will be actually uploaded. Hopefully by the end of the day, it will probably be uploaded by the time I come home from work, or when I come home from work, I should say. Should be. Now, not tomorrow, because today is Friday, May 2nd, 2025. So, good news is tomorrow is the weekend, and I don't have to get up early tomorrow. Yeah, I've been enjoying my job. Work at a call center. And yeah, I'm still in training. Excuse me for yawning. I know training will last like a couple weeks, so at least for Monday, it's gonna be a couple weeks before I actually take calls. So but it is needed, but I don't know. Could use some practice taking calls and scheduling appointments. Yeah, I usually will stream at like 5 a.m. just to actually, at least during the week, to actually, so I can actually talk, because I enjoy talking, and it's really the only time I can actually talk. I do live with my family, so you know I can't really talk in the evening or night. And now that I work, I used to like, with, unless when I was at university, like, obviously, and up until I graduated high school, I would actually um go to bed, 9, 10ish. Maybe earlier if I was younger, but when I was in university, I would really only go to bed if early around that time if I had classes the next day. Otherwise, I'd be staying up till like midnight, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, and when I was looking for jobs, actually, one job I had, I worked the night shift, so I could really go to bed whenever I want, as long as I got enough sleep before my shift. And so I would usually go to bed like 3, 4 o'clock, maybe, or 3 at the latest. So, say this past year, most nights I'd go to bed maybe about 2 or 3, unless I had like a job interview or like a doctor's appointment or something like that. I'd go to bed early, uh, in which I'd go to bed early. But otherwise, I'd be going to bed like at 1 or 2. When I lived in England in 2023 for a few months, I would go to bed most nights about 8 or 9. So it's due to the like time difference, and it took me a while to get used to the time difference. So like really on the weekend, I'd stay up late. Late for me there will be like 10, 11, 12. I do miss living in England though. I do miss living in England though. I'd like to move back there if I ever get the chance. So I've never been to the UK. I definitely recommend going. Actually, nice place. So I just woke up, so I'm a bit tired. So I'm trying to wake myself up, and I'm trying to talk as well. And for some reason, whenever like if there's some games I can play that I can stay wide awake for, and that help wake me up. There's some games that have this effect that make me want to go back to sleep, and racing games are one of those games where if I play it, it'll make me feel like wanting to go back to sleep. So as we crash there, hopefully the game doesn't crash. Doesn't look like it will though. Used to play. This was like the one racing game I'd always play a ton of as a teenager. Don't get me wrong, I liked racing games as kids, but I didn't really play a whole lot of them. It was this and Need for Speed Undercover. I've done that on my channel actually, Need for Speed Undercover. It's a good game. It's a good racing game. Like Forza Motorsports 4 is like the first racing game I'd really do on my YouTube channel, and that besides MX versus ATV Untamed, and maybe Need for Speed Undercover. But like Forza, I didn't really play until I was an adult. I was like 19 when I first started playing it. So well, I was still relatively young. I was still in the legal sense an adult. Just go ahead and quit the event and go to a new one. Let's do the Split Oak series. So I also played Mario Kart Wii a lot as well when I was like 12, not 12 but like 13, 14, and then when I was like 14, 15, I'd get into like Need for Speed Undercover and uh, MX versus ATV Untamed. Those are like the three racing games that I regularly play as a team, because I don't remember playing like would remember playing like before that, you know, I would actually remember playing like racing games at like former friend's house, or like having former friends bring over racing games, but to play on my consoles, but never like own any games and play them regularly until I got Mario Kart Wii. Which Mario Kart Wii is a good game though. Actually, it's fun. It's not my favorite game on the Wii, but it is fun. My favorite game on the Wii is MX versus not MX. Sorry, it's actually a Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That is my favorite Wii game. Mario Kart Wii is second though. Look it up, but there was like another on the Wii. There was like a NASCAR game I played a lot of, and I think I played a lot of Eminem's kart racing as well. I think it's the NASCAR game I really remember playing. So, like a kart racing game. It was like a Wii exclusive. I'll have to look up the name of it. Hmm. I don't think I want to talk about. So, my job. I'm currently and YouTube. I get paid off of my the videos I upload to Daily Motion as well. So if this is under 2 hours, which it should be, it'll be on Daily Motion sometime. And I Daily Motion's like YouTube. You need to get like $100 to actually before you can get that paycheck. And I haven't reached that threshold of $100 on Daily Motion, so I haven't gotten paid yet. So whereas I have on YouTube, is I crashed there. So and then with the job at the call center, I will actually get paid for that, but I started on Monday, so it's not next week. Then it should be on the Monday after that I get paid because I get paid every 2 weeks. So um, I'm trying to think of what to sing. So yeah, like to start purchasing some games with my own money, but I'm also saving up to go to WWE and a family member of mine. So I have enough for one ticket, but after like a paycheck or two from the job center, I should be able to get a ticket for a second ticket as well. So doubt like that, and that's just for Raw or SmackDown. It's not gonna be like for like a pay per view or something that I have enough money for. Even after taxes, I probably have to work a couple of years before I can actually get pay per view ticket. And I know like WrestleMania, like a front row seat is a couple $1,000 actually. It's like for one ticket is like as much as like 10,000, 12, $13,000. I think that's for WrestleMania 40 actually. Like more than $10,000 for like one front row seat, which is insane. It's a lot of money. Can't imagine. I can't imagine spending like that kind of money on tickets to like a concert or sporting event or You know, at the same time, I wouldn't know how to regularly. That's a lot of money to like. If you were to like go to like WWE and like, is the tickets alone for like Raw and SmackDown, like just for one ticket for Raw or SmackDown would be like seven or $800, and to like that's a lot of money to go to a WWE event for one ticket. But if you like to travel, that's even more. Like you have to book a hotel room. If you're driving there, you actually have to. I'd imagine you would definitely have to factor in like gas as well and hotels or motels. Um, as well. Factor in traveling expenses, and if you're flying, that could be even more. So you'd have to factor in, the seats, depending on where you're going. You could also have to factor in food for traveling if you're gonna eat at the airport as well. It's expensive, and that's if you're going to one show. And imagine, like I've recognized people that travel to multiple that sit in like the front rows of like Raw and SmackDown and pay-per-views. Sure, there are some famous fans that people that have gone famous for sitting in the front row, and you know, there's he's known as green shirt guy. I think from what I heard, like has like he wears a green shirt obviously and sits in like the front row. He's been sitting in like the front row for like WWE events for over a decade, but in his defense, he has like family that works for WWE, so like he definitely gets to save money. So like they get free tickets, and then you know that's what I've heard. So like he just has to pay for like traveling, but he's like at every show in Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views. And then there's Trinidad flag guy, so he like will hold up like the Trinidad flag throughout the show. So like I've seen Trinidad flag guy and green shirt guy in like Saudi Arabia and I remember last year I saw them in France and Saudi Arabia and Germany as well. I think Germany. I'm not entirely sure about Germany, but I definitely know France, Saudi Arabia, Australia, and Canada as well, and the U.S., which is quite insane for like traveling expensive. That has to add up alone, and for Trinidad Flag Guy to go to all those places, he actually has to pay for his tickets as well. To the shows. So that's a lot of money to spend. It's quite cool that he can be able to that they can be able to afford to go all those places, but at the same time, man, that must add up. Trying my hardest not to fall asleep right now. So I'm not just talking about random things, so to help keep myself from falling asleep. I don't know what to talk about actually. I know WWE wrestlers will like they have to like pay for their own travel as well. The company WWE doesn't pay that, so it comes out of their paycheck. So I know that WWE will have a pay per view in France in September 1st, I believe. I know August 30th, not August 30th, but I know they're gonna be having a. I don't remember which one, if it's Raw or SmackDown, but they'll be having one televised episode in Dublin, Ireland. We'll also be heading to the UK later this year, around the same time in August, and they'll be heading to France on the 30th, which I think is a Sunday actually. And then for the first time ever, they'll be hosting Raw in France as well. It'll be in Paris, or a suburb of Paris. And that was mainly due to the reason France gets another pay per view is because of the crowd reaction for Backlash France last year and SmackDown. So it's their second ever pay per view in France, but their first ever Raw in France, because last year they were in Lyon for SmackDown and Backlash France, but this year they'll be in Paris for Clash in Paris and Raw. Well, they were in a suburb of Lyon last year, so no, they went to Belgium back in March, and they, I think it was for Raw, and for SmackDown they were in Barcelona, Spain. Actually, I think I talked about this in one of my videos yesterday or the day before. I was talking about how Lamine Yamal was shown on camera, and he's currently an FC Barcelona player, and I don't know why I said but they were in London, I think, as well around that time in March. And then they're gonna go to Perth, Australia for a pay per view as well. Which I'm not sure. I know that's gonna be in October, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch that live or not. Do have a relative that watches WWE, and I do watch WWE with them, but they'll like come and visit, for months at a time. So if they are in town, I probably won't be watching it live. It's because they don't usually get up or stay up that late. Because I know it'll be it may start at like around 5 a.m. So. Also, I will usually, Monday through Friday now, I'll be waking up at 5 a.m. as well. I'm not sure I'd want to actually wake up and it's on Saturday. Actually, for WWE, I wouldn't mind actually, but I need to get a good night's sleep before, and I'm not sure I'll be able to get a good night's sleep and stay up for WWE. Usually, what I'll do is usually I'll wake up at 4:45 and then stream until about 6 o'clock, and then I'll have breakfast, and then I'll usually after breakfast get ready for work and go to work. So I'll usually be there for when my shift starts at 8, And I'm usually awake by the time I start work. I'm usually like, don't get me wrong, I'm sleepy throughout most of the day, but will actually get more wake up and not, I will wake up more and not be as tired as I am by the time I go to work. So, kind of forcing myself to stay up right now. Although since it is Friday today, I may actually, and I don't have to go to work tomorrow or Sunday. I may actually come home and take a nap. Actually, nap really sounds nice right about now. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. So I know. Okay, so WWE. I know they have had last year. They had like a pay per view in Australia. The Elimination Chamber was in Australia last year. Their second ever pay per view in Australia. The first one was Super Showdown in 2018. If I remember correctly, they've had an episode of NXT in Australia as well. So, don't think they've ever had a Raw or Smack. Oh, that was not our last lap. I thought that was our last lap. 2023, they had a pay per view on SmackDown in Puerto Rico. First SmackDown from Puerto Rico, but I think it's their first SmackDown from Puerto Rico, but it's their second ever pay per view from Puerto Rico because they had New Year's Revolution in Puerto Rico in 2005. When WWE Network still existed in the US, I actually looked at that pay per view one day. I spent like a day looking at some old pay per views. I spent some time looking at old pay per views, and that was one of the pay per views I decided to look at. It was in New Year's Revolution 2005 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. One of the old pay per views that I didn't watch because I wasn't a WWE fan until 2010. Actually, WrestleMania 26 was the first pay per view I ever watched. A good pay per view. So, yeah. Anyway, 2020, last year they went to France and Germany. They had a SmackDown in France and Germany and a pay per view in Germany as well. Got some drinks with me. I got some strawberry Kroger flavored water. It's from Kroger. In the second event, so now I have sparkling water, tangerine flavored Le Croix. Is how you pronounce it. Really sure. So, diet or some zero sugar strawberries and cream Dr Pepper. I like this soda. It's my favorite flavor of Dr Pepper. I actually taste the strawberry in it as well. Then some Virgil zero sugar root beer as well. I know you can get this at Fresh Market. Not sure where else you can get it from. Yeah, they had like a pay per view in Saudi. WWE had a pay per view in Saudi Arabia. They had a Raw in Saudi Arabia as well. Not a Smack. I think they had a SmackDown in Saudi Arabia as well. Actually, I don't remember if it was Jeddah or Riyadh, but the main pay per views that they air are usually going to be in Riyadh or Jeddah in Saudi Arabia from those two cities mainly. Those are going to be like the two cities they broadcast from in Saudi Arabia whenever they travel to Saudi Arabia because they will travel all over the world. They don't always broadcast their televised events, or they always broadcast their televised events, but they don't always broadcast every single event they have. Seen highlights of this, but they went to Japan in 2005 for a Raw and SmackDown. So I didn't see it live, but WWE uploaded this match to YouTube. In 2007, they had I think a Raw and SmackDown. I think it was 2007. They had I know, but for a fact they had a Raw and SmackDown in Milan, Italy, and they uploaded Santino Marella's WWE debut, and that was against Umaga. Rest in peace, Umaga. But you know, that was that in Santino's debut match. He won the Intercontinental Championship. So, have you been to any WWE events? Were they televised? And which were they broadcast on TV? Were they like pay per views or non-televised event? And which and where did you go? Because I went to four SmackDowns, one NXT, and yeah, one Saturday Morning Slam taping as well. I wonder if anyone watching this has been to like an ECW show or WCW show when both promotions were active. It'd be interesting to hear stories from, if you went to any pro wrestling events actually. I had to turn around a little bit to get back on track actually there. Well, baseball season is going on. I watched the Angels play the Tigers yesterday. I don't know the final score because I had to go to bed. But it was like I left in like the seventh or eighth inning, and they were down. I think they had 4 runs. I think they were down like five or six. They were down by like 2 or 3 runs. Don't remember the exact score, but I know the Angels were losing. So hopefully they came back from behind and actually won the game against the Tigers. But I is it gonna thunder? Yeah. So I actually. Oops. What was I gonna talk about? I know something related to baseball, but definitely try to look at the rest of the game. But I'm not entirely sure I will. I always do try to catch the game, at least part of the game, most days of the week. I don't hear any rain, but I thought I heard thundering. Don't know where I got thundering from, but 5:44. That's the time, by the way, of right now. I don't know when exactly I'm gonna try to aim. Said I was gonna aim for 6, but I'm not sure I can. I may want to take like a quick nap. Only worry about taking a quick nap is that I feel like, you know, not that I'd miss my shift or be late, but, that I'd be even more tired, if when I wake up than I would have been had I stayed up. But I'm also worried that I may not be. I still may be tired, actually. If I will be just as tired. Um, I think I'm gonna take a quick nap after this. Be like a maybe 10-minute nap. I almost said lap, but again, that goes to show you how tired I am. So I do have an alarm clock on my phone, so will definitely alarm her for like 15 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. On how much time I'll have to, to take a quick nap. Anyways, the baseball season is starting to pick up now. The Angels have been like their bullpen has been struggling so far. They're pretty decent at hitting now. Our problem is we'll get like a lead with our starters. Some like one or two of our starting pitchers hasn't been good either. But like we'll like most games we'll like get a lead early on, but like when the starter comes out, our bullpen will struggle to get through the inning and give up the lead. So we struggle on the pitching side of things, the defensive side of things, more so than the hitting or offensive side. Mentioned a ton in my previous videos. I'm a fan of soccer. I like watching Real Madrid and I like watching Ajax Amsterdam. Real Madrid, both Ajax and Real Madrid are out of their respective European continent competitions. Ajax played in the UEFA Europa League, and they were eliminated in round of 16. Didn't play too well against Eintracht Frankfurt. The first game was okay. Uh, their second game, they played horribly. It was the worst game of the season, actually. And Real Madrid got eliminated in the quarterfinals of the Champions League by Arsenal. They have been struggling offensively these past couple of games. Uh, that hasn't always been the case, but for like the last year and a half, 2 years, they've been struggling on defense. That's their main issue because they have Danny Carvajal, who's very good defensively, but he's injured. Lunen's a goalie, and he's not playing because of Thibaut Courtois, who's an even better goalkeeper than Lunin. I think so. Then they got Kylian Mbappe at the beginning of the season, or prior to the beginning of the season last year. When the season started last year. So they really should have gone defenders though. Because I know Alaba is injured again, unfortunately. Rudiger is injured, and I'm not sure if he's serving a 6-match suspension, but or if he'll serve it, after he recovers from injury. Danny Carvajal, as I mentioned, is out for the remainder of the season. I'm not sure about the year, but their Militao isn't playing because he's injured. So I'm sure they're good players, but I wasn't really impressed with Alaba or Eder Militao as defensive players. With the position they play is more defense than offense. So and then yeah, they have Valverde play defense occasionally, and he's very good at defense, but he's not a trained defender. He is a trained midfielder. Right? Some games you like. Some games you like play midfielder. Other games you like play right back, and he can score very well. But I don't. He just doesn't take as many shots as he should. So 3 laps, including this one. And yeah. Chouamani's playing defense. I know Camavinga spent part of the year injured, part of the season injured. Definitely want to finish this race. turn off my mic and my face cam because I don't know what to talk about now, and I'm starting to feel a bit sleepy. And I feel like maybe the game volume might help me stay awake with all the noise.